Alright, yeah, episode 2, getting this out a little bit later than I wanted, probably only by a couple days here. That's, a big reason for that is I had to go back in and actually get cinematics, which I hadn't had time to do before the weekend, and of course, for the time the weekend came, I was actually without internet for about a day and a half because the bill had not been paid. And now it is, so I was able to load up, all my assets and get in the game and get the cinematics and stuff done, which, I just closed the game here maybe 5 minutes ago, and I'm getting editing on this right away. So one thing you'll notice actually in the cinematics, which I probably played one shot before, maybe 1 or 2 shots before I actually start talking here, one thing you might notice, you might possibly see a big city, skyline in the background, and that would be, foreign to you at this point because you don't know that that's next episode. But yeah, before I got the cinematics, I had already done the main project for episode 3, but actually I went and fine-tuned it off camera a bit while I was going to do those cinematics just now. And I think it turns out pretty good. But yeah, what we do in this episode is that you're going to see me starting off here. I'm just creating a little shop thing on the top of the hill, like a little outlet shop center thing. I think it turns out okay, nothing fancy. I just wanted to have something just off the highway because I think there is. I haven't actually gotten off on that side of the highway at that particular exit that's supposed to be before. But I would wager to say that my memory is probably serving me decently well there, and that there probably is some sort of shop center up there, and just below that, well, you'll see in a minute just what I'm doing below that, but yeah, so I run out of stuff that I can fit in here, that were from that particular pack, so I'm like, should I put a Popeyes here? No, because it's on a weird angle. Like it's on the weird slope. Should I put that little thing there? No, it's too run down. And then I settle on that asset right there. I just put it down. It's nice looking. It's in contrast with the rest of them, but I feel that it looks nice. Like maybe it's a new addition to the rest of it all, and it's fine. And I just end up putting like a wood fence kind of behind this. And, realistically, I don't know how they would then be able to deliver things into these shops, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about the logistics. You kind of just have to take it at face value for what it is, really. Anyways, I want to thank you so much for the very positive feedback that I've been getting on episode 1. Let me actually pull up some of the comments here, and I'll read some of the comments. Just gotta open a separate tab here. No, I don't want YouTube Studio. Oh god. No, YouTube Studio is it bad. It the big bad. Alright, so let's get the comments here. Let's see comments. Perfect. So actually I do want YouTube Studio here. So just people saying stuff like, oh, the game looks beautiful. I really appreciate that. Vermpositor says, nice project. One thing from my own experience with producing City Skylines videos, speed slider slow down the simulation speed. Oh, okay. I'm not quite sure what that means. Like that. I'm gonna give him that. Give him a heart. Yeah, that's nice. And actually, I'm looking down here, one of these people who commented, Coco, came over from Twitter because Prez retweeted, my tweet of saying, hey, this, episode 1 is out. And I've noticed, actually, there's, like, a trend. It's like, I'll put out a tweet about something or other, and then for whatever reason, it gets Prez's attention, and he, like, likes or retweets or something if it's, if he wants to do that. And every time that happens, it's, like, instant exposure for me. I instantly get like followers and subscribers and views and stuff. It's instant exposure. It's absolutely hilarious. Goku suggested railway replacer mod. I will take a look at that. I will give a heart to that. Someone noticed that I have an IWW sign. I haven't used it yet, but they somehow noticed. I don't know how they found it. And one thing that someone's like, "Oh hey, a new prez," and it's like, yeah, I was wondering how long it would be until I get some kind of comment like that, considering that I am doing an autumn theme thing. Also, if I just went back into the Premiere Pro tab, and the screen is paused here for a sec. The reason it's doing that is I was actually in a call with Prez at this time. I must have been looking at something. Okay, yeah, and here I get back to working on it. Sorry about that. I don't know how long that pause is, but it's a thing that I did. And what I'm trying to do on screen right now is I'm trying to work out the size if I want to make a small playground in this park. And this area is like I mentioned in the last episode. So I want to do some kind of park on this hill, because in real life there's what I think they call like some kind of heritage park, if I remember what they call it that. There, and I wanted to do something, but I didn't know how I would do that, so I ended up just settling on doing a big park with trails, and then this one little playground area, which, you know, I'm not overly proud of the playground area, to be honest, but I'm fine with it. It's just here because I wanted to have some kind of thing that isn't, you know, I put more effort in than just spam like a forest brush, because that feels too lazy. So I went exactly one more step and just put in one detail area. But, you know, it adds. It works. And one thing I actually noticed thinking about this, everyone at this time, I don't think I fixed it yet, was trying to get off of the one highway exit at the bottom of that hill there. And that's because I had the ramps reversed. Like 3 out of the 4 ramps reversed on the one on the top of the hill, so they couldn't really actually use it. So that was just me being stupid. But it ended up being like that. What's that notification? Instance of the application is already running on this. Okay. Weird flex, but alright. I don't know what it's trying to... Okay. Weird error. So maybe my computer is gonna die. I don't know. I'm spooked. But yeah, here now I'm starting to get into the actual meat and potatoes of this episode. We're going ahead and we are extending upon the neighborhood that we built in episode 1. And now, one thing I want to do real quick is I'm going to put up an image on the screen of the completed neighborhood area. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to, in the comments or on my Twitter, you know, just anywhere you can do it, leave a suggestion for what you think I should name this neighborhood, because I don't know, and I want you guys to decide. So it encompasses everything that you're seeing in the photo. As of right now, I don't know. I might change it around later. I might extend it, might contract it. I don't know. But you basically get to pick the name, come up with something pretty good, and I will shout you out and take a look at that. And I'm looking forward to see what you guys can come up with, because this is one where my creative juices are not flowing. Because it's flowing on so many other things for this project, really. And here there's just this high school football field here, which you'll see for the high school, which actually I noticed when I got back into the game today. Because of the slope the high school's on, which is kind of weird, because, you know, I'm working with slopes. Your slopes are always not fun to work with. The people gathering in front of the front door actually hover above the ground, and it's kind of weird. But, you know, to each their own. People gonna hover, I guess. It's just me and the boys in creative mode. That's how it be sometimes. Going back to the channel here, from when I uploaded the first video, I want to say I was at like 115, 116 or so. And that was a week ago. In that span, I've gained about 20 subscribers. We're at 137. Sorry if you just heard a little boop there. It started playing the video on the front page of my channel because I'm just taking a look at it here. And yeah, it's at 223 views. That's insane. I think that might be the most viewed video that I have made public right now. It does look like it. It narrowly beats out the first episode of, and really only episode of Eagle Lake, which actually seemed to do well too. It's a shame I couldn't continue that, and even now, if I think I said this last episode, even now if I wanted to, I couldn't, just because simply it's the save is gone. I didn't back it up when I reinstalled Cities. It's gone. It is not the most viewed video that I've uploaded ever though, because oh geez, looking back on like a bunch of unlisted and private videos I have, or let's see, what would be at the top of this list here? Okay, well there is one that there is far above the others, but I'm kind of ashamed to admit what that one is, because it's bad content. It's just bad content. It's got like 3.7 thousand views. It's private. You will not find it. Don't worry about it. But other than that, before in my era of doing city skylines, it would be the first episode of Canvas Mountains, if you remember that, way back, 3 years ago. Holy crap! 263 views on that, so we're about 40 short. Yeah, we might honestly pass it with the first episode. Yeah, that would be absolutely insane. And oh man, looking back on that, I'm reminiscing on that series and how that was. For me to build that, I feel like with the hardware I had being as bad as it was, that started off pretty well. That whole Eagle Point episode, the first episode, that I was liking how that was going. But I kind of dropped off the face of the earth and came back and made the second episode, then did it again and made the third episode. And I think honestly, I just got less proud of it with each episode, and then I was like, you know what, I can't continue this. I don't remember if it broke or what. Then I did the only episode of Quartz Frontier, and that's where I famously to me anyways, had awful tech issues. And then I was gone until just over a year ago. Pretty much just a year ago when I started out God, but those videos are still up. Yeah, but no, I've actually been doing YouTube for a lot longer than some people would think. My first video that still exists on this channel is a Minecraft survival games video from 4 years ago. Yeah, and I made about 15 of those, I think. No, I made 17 of them. Yep, okay, 17 of them. And thinking about it, does anyone else remember when Prez used to make Minecraft content? Because I do. That's how I knew him before City Skylines. I knew him when he did Minecraft content, kinda. I didn't really talk to him, because there was a bigger disparity there. We had our own little cliques of in the Minecraft community. It was hilariously bad. But I actually had him do some graphics for me at that time. Those videos, well, a few of them are unlisted instead of private, so really, if you want to, I could link some if you're very interested, which I don't know why you would be. If you want to just see how bad it was 3 years ago when I had, those graphics, how bad my content was. But no, he did a good job. At that time, he said it was some of his best work in terms of graphics. And oh boy, I mean, they're still pretty fire. If I were to go back to making Minecraft content now, I would still go and use those, like, to be brutally honest. But it is not the oldest video I've made, and I started doing YouTube a long time before that. Sorry, I haven't been talking about what's going on screen here. On screen at this point, I'm just plinking down a bunch of houses in this neighborhood. So this is actually kind of the perfect time to talk about this. Now, I go to my channel here on my old account, which I mostly use for watching videos and commenting and stuff. I really only use, my Skylite channel for actually uploading and such. My oldest video on there that I have... Well, let me go into YouTube Studio here. Go to videos. the oldest one that's not, you know, private, or the oldest one that is like private or unlisted, still exists. Also goes back almost 5 years now. It was also Minecraft content. And boy, I actually can remember recording that, really. I remember, yeah, I remember that. That was an SMP. And man, that would have been something now with SMP Live. That would have been something. But I actually did just upload something on that channel yesterday. Now, I don't know if any of you guys are into... If you know what an EAS scenario is. So you know what the EAS is? So, like, you'll be on... let me give you a scenario here of its own. So, you fall asleep watching TV in the middle of the night. For whatever reason, you have the weather channel on. And you wake up at 3 a.m. only to hear that damn weather radio, that damn weather alarm, blaring on the TV with that creepy black screen, and you're just completely shook. Yeah, that system, that's the EAS, and maybe half a year ago, I found out there's like a community of people on YouTube who actually make mock scenarios based off of that and use the tones and stuff. And it's really an interesting thing. So I started watching them, and I'm like, hey, I want to be able to make my own. And there's a few tutorials out there on how to do it. So yesterday I finally sat down and actually did it, even though I had been planning for a while. And it's nothing too overly complex, but some of them out there do get really complex. Like, I recommend checking it out if you're not easily scared by that sound. Well, I mean, or if you are, because I mean, I am, and I watch them all the time. But there's just some interesting stuff that people come up with. Creativity is it's a funny thing, man. I gotta say. But I uploaded one of my own yesterday on the older channel. It's at like 43 views. I'll plug it in the comments. I'll hit a link to it. If you feel like watching it, go ahead. The only other video on there that's public for you to view is like a 40-second outtake of me just playing, you know, one of my own city's saves where I don't like go and do tons of detailing. I was just messing around. The description is literally 1273. Karen took the kids from me, and you know, it's just a it's called City Skylines, but the cars are magical. And what was happening there? The car was flying through a forest fire, just hovering, going to some random commercial like building in a straight line, hovering. And if any of you have played City Skylines, you may have seen this glitch. I don't know what causes it, but it's absolutely hilarious in my opinion. And I mean, you can look at that too, so maybe just go take a look at my old channel, which I'll link to. You find exactly those two things. You know, maybe someday I should unlist a bunch of my older videos and just be like, hey, you know what? This is all the stuff I have. I gotta be proud of it. Even though it's shit. I don't necessarily have to be proud of it, but I gotta acknowledge its existence. But that's not when I started YouTube. When I started YouTube, going actually to my About section on the old channel here, I joined YouTube, and this was the original account, I know this, November 11th, 2011. So 11/11/11, actually. I never thought about that. But that's crazy. So when you think about it, that means, I mean, and I did actually make a video at that time of just me just like using a crappy webcam saying like, oh, give me a Minecraft gift code, because I didn't have Minecraft yet, and at the time I really wanted Minecraft. And I can admit that's what my first video was, like literally that's what I did. That's gone, because I stupidly deleted most of my really, really old videos, and it sucks, because a few of them I would have, going back, I would have actually liked to keep them. It would have been kind of nice. But yeah, when I started that channel, I would have been actually like only 9. That's like 8 years ago. So that's a hot while. And yeah, I mean, I've come a long way doing YouTube, and only like just the other month, really, that I actually breach 100 subscribers. So you know, that's an absolutely massive accomplishment for me, and it looks like we're getting close to being done with filling in all this community here. And I switched up my method of going through it. Whereas before I would go through it block by block, but here what I'm doing is I'm just doing house variant by house variant, or I'll grab one variant of house and just start putting it in random places, because I felt like I was making more progress when I was constantly moving around with the camera. And it kind of worked, but it can be tedious because sometimes you won't have enough space to put something in, or you don't know if you already used that certain house, or, you know, whatever. And as far as houses go, you know, probably at some point in the series, I'm going to have to go back into the asset editor and either make more or fix the ones that are broken, because there are, like, you know, 10, 13 of these assets for the series that are broken for, you know, one reason. I think I mentioned that before. So I don't know if they can fix. I don't know if I can fix them, because I don't know if I can even load them in if they're broken. Like, I don't know what it means by broken. It didn't define that well. It just said they failed. So I don't know if I can actually load them or not. Like if I can fix them or not. If I can, I would like to fix them, because I put work into it. But, you know, sometimes that might just be not the case, and I might have to make completely separate ones, and that's okay. But for now, you know, just using these, this is fine, because this is all really the same neighborhood, and most of the neighborhoods are going to be of this style. You know, minus the hill. There's not a whole lot of hills in this city. But they are going to be kind of this style of house. With the exceptions of I'll have, you know, probably a slummy neighborhood or two, and then a few super gentrified suburbs, but those will come later. Probably much later. And I'll have to deal with that when I get to it. And I'll probably eventually, like, want to stream me doing that live, like, editing those assets like I tried to do when starting the series, but I got interrupted, like, twice. But that is what it is. Anyways, guys, we are coming to the end of this episode here, so sorry for rambling on and not talking much about the actual episode. I don't know, maybe that's actually better. Who knows? But I do want to say thank you for all the support. Please like this video, comment would be very greatly appreciated. Get in contact with me on Twitter. Maybe subscribe if you really do enjoy. Episode 3 should be out next week, right away. And remember to leave a suggestion for naming the neighborhood. And I will see you guys later. Bye.